Welcome to my ready room. I'm Murdoch. This is 5... Wait, no. Not 5 today. Today's not going to be a 5-minute trek. No, today's going to be a 10-minute trek. We got a lot of stuff to cover on this ship. Today we're going to look at the Galaxy class. Ample nacelles and all. It's another Enterprise. Before we get into today's ship class briefing, please do like and subscribe if you're enjoying this kind of content. Alright, where should we start with this rather big, bold, and beautiful piece of hardware? Let's get the numbers out of the way first. The Galaxy class was one of the biggest Federation vessels of its time. 642.5 meters long, roughly 464 meters wide, and a little over 195 meters tall, give or take. And having a mass of 4.5 million metric tons. To give you an idea of just how big that is, it's like half a grid square to itself on a military map. Or, comparatively, for your 21st century notions, just its surface area alone is more than 6 Nimitz-class carriers lined up in 3x2 formation. 3x2 or 2x3? Either way, this infographic will show you what I mean. But because this is the future, and this ship was clearly designed to house an entire city's worth of people, quite literally capable of holding 15,000 or so, in the case of a crisis and serve many different functions, it only needed a crew of 1,000 to run it. This is often why you see corridor shots in TNG where it seems like nobody's around at all, any of the time. There's some psychological reasoning for that, but I'm not touching that here. Suffice it to say, there's a lot of real estate on this ship, and it's all there for a reason. The Galaxy class could handle warp 9.6 as its standard maximum cruise speed. And with guys like Miles O'Brien and Geordi LaForge doing what they do best in engineering, that massive vessel could even hit warp 9.8 or 9.9 in emergencies, depending on if it had been through its initial refit or not. The standard armament for the Galaxy class features 12 phaser strips, some refits get an extra 2, and 3 torpedo launchers. Considering how they seem used, they may as well be belt-fed weapons.
Yes, sir. Do it.
The Galaxy class began its initial development all the way back in 2343, and has the dubious distinction of having the longest design-to-build time of any ship class in Starfleet history. It doesn't help that a Manroloth by the name of Jirianen, I might be butchering that, had been sabotaging its development. The prototype vessel, USS Galaxy, would finally leave space dock in 2357, and its first sister ships, the Yamato and the flagship Enterprise D, entering service 6 years later in 2363. There was a lot of political debate inside Starfleet Command over a vessel as big and powerful as the Galaxy class. Some viewed a ship of this caliber as a deterrent to the Federation's enemies. Others saw it as an equally provocative measure and were against its development altogether. 12 ships of the line were initially ordered. It was then decided that only 6 would actually be built to completion, and the other 6 would be built to their basic space frames and then taken apart and tucked away for a rainy day. Well, that rainy day was Wolf 359. Keep coming back to this lovely event that was terrible for everybody involved. And losing 39 vessels was enough of a wake-up call to get a whole bunch of things going. like the Defiant. A Galaxy-class vessel also has the dubious distinction of being the first casualty on the Federation side in what would be known as the Dominion War. The USS Odyssey was rammed by a Jem'Hadar attack bug, assault ship. That all being said, the Galaxy-class were Starfleet's pride and joy. Because of their size, they had multiple labs, holodecks, onboard support service areas, and like I said, they were basically traveling cities. They could act like mobile star bases if need be, for crying out loud. One feature that would be later replicated on other vessels, like the Odyssey class, or on a more extreme level, the Prometheus class, was its ability to perform saucer separation and reconnect just about at will. Previously, while the technology to perform saucer separation was present, it was usually a one-shot deal until both segments of the ship made it back to a starbase for repair and reattachment. The space frames were designed with a century-long lifespan in mind, implying, based on the old workhorses from previous generations, they were going to use these big ships for quite some time. Galaxy-class starships also featured a rather large lounge and bar area in the most forward area of the ship that would be replicated where it could be in other future designs that allowed for it, on Deck 10. On Enterprise D, this was known as 10 Forward. On the USS Challenger, it was called Shuttle Bay 4, until it was renamed to Nelson's. Naturally, over the years, the Advanced Starship Design Bureau would develop some refit and variant subclasses for these vessels, many of which got their names from tradition or the class's naming convention itself. Psst, that would involve the name of a galaxy. They were the Monarch, the Venture, the Andromeda, the Ross, and Cygnus subclasses. No, not that Cygnus. That one. Better. But wait, there's more. You didn't think I wouldn't cover the Galaxy X types, did you? Oh yes, the Galaxy X, depending on which beta canon you follow, because in a lot of them, it wasn't just an alternate future that we saw in All Good Things where this ship would appear. It would come back in places like Star Trek Online, where, depending on which beta canon you follow, it would be considered a dreadnought refit of the Galaxy class, seeing a third warp nacelle added, more phaser strips, probably more torpedo bays too, I gotta look into that more, dedicated pulsed phaser cannons, and its signature spinal phaser lance weapon, which is absolutely devastating, capable of punching through most shields and armor like they were made out of paper. Some Galaxy X-class vessels would also seem to have been outfitted with cloaking devices. I'm not sure about the legality of that was by that point, but who cares? These vessels were big and devastating, and generally a flagship of any fleet. Mirror of Universe Terrans loved to use them for that purpose too, much to our detriment on this side of the mirror. And much like the last time I took 10 minutes, I have also kit bashed a refit worth proposing to the Advanced Starship Design Bureau this time too. I dubbed it Fornax class. Let me know what you think in the comments. You can find screenshots to use as wallpaper on my Discord, linked below in the description. That's it for this episode. See you in the next one.